What's up, everybody? This is Johnny from A Lion's Tale, and I just wanted to tell you my story. For those of you that know me pretty well, you know that I've gone through a crazy personal transformation, and I actually haven't written that down or recorded it anywhere. Everybody that knows me knows my story, but I've never actually made a video about it. And so I figured I would put this out there and share it with all of you because it usually inspires people so much to take action on themselves when I talk to them in person, that I wanted to put it out so that more people can hear this story, and hopefully it inspires you to take action and chase all of your dreams. So anyways, a little bit about me. I'm Johnny, founder of A Lion's Tale, personal transformation coach, but I definitely have not always been that way. For me, for historical, I've always been kind of a high achiever, but I grew up as an only child in a very small family, and so was always kind of socially awkward, and grew up never knowing if I was fitting in or what I was doing, all that kind of stuff. I was always a high achiever in general, just because I worked hard and I had personal discipline, which is a blessing for sure. But I had horrible money mindset and horrible money practices. That's just how I grew up. That's how my family was for generation after generation. And it actually put me in a big bind until later on in life, until I was much older than I should be. And I got into the personal development space, and it just completely set me on a different path. So what I did was I read a couple of books. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad and Think and Grow Rich. If you guys haven't read these, both of these are amazing books. These changed my life, literally. The big thing about these books is that it set me on a path for understanding money, how money works. And I started down this path of financial independence, and it actually springboarded me into massive personal development all around, which is really cool. So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, totally changed my mindset about money. Read Think and Grow Rich, learned that you can manifest whatever you want to, and that is the secret of the ultra successful, wealthy, all that good stuff. And so I read it, thought about it, and then in one of the books I read, it started me down a path. One of the books I read, it said, most people will just sit here, read, and think, and not take any action. I challenge you to take action within the first 30 days. Do something. And so what I did is actually got into real estate investing. I had the principles of Think and Grow Rich. I knew real estate investment was a solid opportunity. I read a bunch of books on real estate investment, took that advice, and within 30 days I made one step and then one step. And long story short, for this part of it, I ended up buying my first investment property. And here's the interesting thing. I bought my first investment property with a partner who was going to do all the construction. 2 days in, I lost my partner, and I was totally screwed. Like, he was going to do all the work on his side. I was going to finance the project. We were going to split the profits. But because he pulled out, I didn't have any expertise on how to fix up. I had no construction knowledge. I didn't know how to find contractors, and I didn't have the budget to pay somebody else to do it anyways. And so I was completely screwed 2 days after I made this investment. And for me, I had finally got to a place where I was relatively comfortable. And this was such a pivotal point for me, where I just felt like I put my family's entire livelihood at risk. Finally got to a place where we were kind of comfortable, and I threw all that away, and we were going to have to file bankruptcy and all this stuff, right? And I freaked out. Had a horrible few months, had anxiety attacks for the first time ever, all kinds of things. And then I just realized that I just had to do it. There was no other way out. I had to figure it out. And there's a lot that's in there in the story about how I figured out all these creative finance ways. I learned how to do construction myself. I just dove in because there was no possible way out of this. But the big thing is I finished the project after a year. I invested into the project, I fixed it up, I refinanced it, I pulled all the money out, and I did exactly what I was intending to do. And the really cool thing about this is there was no way out of it. Once I was in, I could not pull out. And the really cool thing about that is I would always get into stuff, dip my toes in, get halfway in, get scared, and pull out. And I would never get to that finish line. And that kept me from seeing what I was really capable of. Because I could not get out of this, the only way out was through. I had to focus in, and I actually finished it, and I completed it. And it showed me how much I was capable of. It allowed me to trust myself so much, and it was so impactful. I'm not gonna lie, it was probably the worst year of my life. It was incredibly stressful. There was a bunch of times where I didn't think I was going to make it through the other side. There were so many unknowns. It was mostly because of my mindset, but there was no way out. So I had to finish, and I did it. Like, I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the money, I didn't have any of it, but I did it, and it felt so good. And so when I was done with it. I actually didn't feel that, I felt accomplished, but I felt more relieved than anything, and I just wanted to celebrate. That was it. I spent a year sleeping on floors, working on construction, like no fun whatsoever for a year, and I was like, all right, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to go to Costa Rica and go surf for a week. And just spend a week surfing, come back a better surfer. Because I've always wanted to be a better surfer, but I lived in Arizona. Not a lot of beaches in Arizona. So I was never able to get really good. I figured I'd go to Costa Rica full immersion for a week. But then I also saw this personal development workshop that I've been following for a while. And they actually had a mentorship program with a camp that started that same weekend. And I thought, okay, I can go to Costa Rica and come back a better surfer. Or I can go to Mexico and come back a better person. And so I chose the latter, and it was the best decision of my life that I've ever made. And so I went to this personal growth workshop, and I thought it was going to be relatively easy. I was going to learn some tips, some tricks to grow a little bit, and that was about it. It was going to grow. It was going to make me a better person, but no big deal. I remember I was flying down there, and I listened to the first meditation on the plane, and there's two of my coworkers were sitting behind me on this plane just randomly, and I'm flying down to Mexico, and I'm listening to this meditation. I wasn't a good meditator. I just started at it, and in the meditation, it asks you to think of 3 things that you're grateful for, and one thing has to be something you're grateful for about yourself. And I just completely burst into tears. Like, I had never given myself credit. I had never given myself any self-love. I never let myself off the hook. All I remember from the previous year is all the things I did wrong, all the ways that it went the wrong way, all the people I let down, all the times I snapped at my partners or whoever because I was incredibly stressed. And that had been my whole life. I'd never given myself any self-love. And as soon as I did that in this meditative state, I just completely broke down in tears. And it was the most euphoric experience I've ever had. I felt so good afterwards. And that was step 1. I went to this personal growth workshop. I learned what it was like to live life with an open heart. Because like I said, I had been an introvert, only child, never really understood if I fit in or how people worked, how the world worked. And just learned it was okay to open up my heart. And I did. And I learned what it was like to open up my heart. And it was just incredible. It was the most amazing experience. I just saw beautiful things all around me that were all around me all the time before. And it actually allowed me to meet my dream woman that weekend. Met her on the street in Mexico randomly because I had just opened my heart and I was seeing all these beautiful things, and I saw her walking down the street, and I knew I just had to go talk to this gorgeous woman. And she is the woman of my dreams, and we're still together right now, and it's just amazing. And so this personal growth mentorship completely opened my heart and allowed me to live life with an open heart. And the other thing it showed me was how to live life without fear. And what I realized was all the limitations that we have in our world, all the things we were saying, no, we can't do that, that's for other people. Oh, there's no way I could ever be a millionaire. There's no way I could have houses in multiple locations, live in Hawaii or your favorite tropical destination, or maybe it's a mountain destination or whatever. There's no way I could ever have that girl. She's way out of my league. All these limitations are just in our head. They're just programs that are in my head. We've been programmed to think we're not capable of that, and we let fear stand in our way. And once you learn how to break through that, the entire world just opens up. You're literally capable of anything. Just like your parents told you, hopefully, when you were a little kid, you can be anything you want. Never really believed that. It's actually true, and you can do it now, whatever age you're at now. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm 43 right now. It happened not too long ago, a few years ago, and I got to tell you, my whole world opened up, and I made massive change, and I'm living my dream life right now. It's crazy. So I started sharing my story and what I was doing with others, and it inspired so many people around me because I had this open heart, and I was just living in a place of radical honesty. I was just saying exactly what was on my mind all the time because I wasn't scared to share it, and my heart was open, and it just inspired so many people around me. People would just come up to me randomly that I worked with for 10 years or that I just happened to me in a coffee shop or at the gym or whatever, and they would just open up to me like crazy, and they would tell me, I've been wanting to do this for so long and I've been held back, or I'm so scared to do these things. I've always wondered what it would be like to do these sorts of things. And they just just came up to me and started opening up to me, and I just shared what I was doing, and it changed their life. I remember I gave a presentation at work with just the things I was doing in my daily routine. Some folks listened, applied it, and then months later, 3 different people told me that they had lost over 20 pounds, and it completely changed their mindset on the world, which is just nuts. I mean, I wasn't coaching them at that time. I was just sharing what I did. They just happened to adopt it, and it completely changed their life. It was insane. And so this really showed me what the world is like living without fear, and I just started doing it. Since I was inspiring others, just chatting with them, I became a coach for the same personal development workshop that I went through. And they hired me straight away because I was just honest and open and doing things without fear. Normally for me, I would let fear hold me back and be like, no, there's no way I can do that. I just learned this stuff, recently. And as soon as I told them, hey, I want to be a coach, they're like, yeah, we'd love to have you. When can you start? And it was insane. I completely changed my career. I completely changed where I live, and I went after my dream woman on the street who's with me today, and is just incredible. I am living my dream life right now. Like literally off of my vision board, that is my life right now. And I just wanted to share that it's possible for everyone. It's possible for you right now. You're watching this. Whatever your circumstance is, you can live your dream life, and I can show you how to do it. It's such a powerful feeling. It's such an amazing feeling that I've just had to share with this with as many people as I can. All of my friends know my entire story. And a lot of my friends are my clients. Everybody around me, I share everything I know with them as often as I can, because everybody needs to know that they can live their dream life whenever they want to. Everybody needs to know what it's like to live with an open heart and live without fear. And everybody needs to know that you can be whatever you want to be. You can be your ideal man. You can live your ideal life whenever you want to. There's just a few simple steps that you have to go through, and then put in some hard work. And you have to have a mentorship. That's one thing that I knew, that I read in a bunch of different books and different courses I took and YouTube videos that I watched when I got really deep into personal development. They all said getting a mentor is the best life hack there is. And I gotta say, I was really skeptical about it. I was like, of course they're saying that because they're mentors and they charge for this, right? They're just trying to sell their product. And to be honest, I was a very cheap person in the past. I would not spend money on stuff that actually mattered. I would instead spend all my money on like inflatable hot tubs and silly things that didn't matter, a brand new mountain bike or whatever. And when I actually bit the bullet and I actually just paid for the mentorship and I just dove all the way in and didn't think about it too much, it was the best decision I ever made. And it was because these mentors had been exactly where I wanted to be, and they could show me all the shortcuts. I then got a real estate mentor, and he showed me the shortcuts on real estate, how to get past these hurdles that seem so insurmountable when you don't know what you're doing. But you get somebody else that can tell you, oh yeah, I've already been through that. This is what that means. Here's how you get around it. That is such a great place to be. It is such a comfort blanket. It will just give you that confidence to push back the next step. It's like nothing else. And I just had to share that message with you all because I went through it and I know how powerful it is, and I had to share it with everybody else. So I got a mentor, changed my life completely, and I am living my dream life right now. And my full-time profession is a personal transformation coach. That's why I founded A Lion's Tail, so I can help as many people as possible feel exactly what I felt. And all my clients go through this same transformation, and they all tell me the same thing. This is not what I expected. I expected it to be so much easier. I didn't expect it to go this deep. I didn't expect to have such a big change. And to be honest, I didn't expect much out of this. I was very skeptical. And they also all tell me they're so glad that they went through this. It's life-changing. They can't believe they went through it. It's hard to explain. And they just tell everybody around them the same thing. And now they're off inspiring others just like I was, which is so incredible and so awesome. So I wanted to share the story with you all because it's so powerful to me. It's so impactful to me. And I've seen how it helps others. And I want to share it with as many people as possible. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I got a couple things for you. So we're going to dive deeper on a webinar, a free webinar on the power of personal transformation, which is what we do here at A Lion's Tail. That link to that webinar is down in the description below. Click on that. We can go much deeper into all these topics. I just told you the base of my story. There's so much in here. There's no way I could share it in one YouTube video. So check out the free webinar. Click that link below. Sign up completely free, and we'll get deeper on this topic. I also put together a free personalized guided journal for you. So journaling is one of the tools that we use here in The Lion's Tail. It's something I learned that is just like incredibly impactful, and it's super simple. It's guided, takes you through all the steps of active journaling, and it's completely free. That's also down in the description below. I put that together for you guys. All the questions are specifically tailored to exactly how you want to shift the focus of your day. And it's a really cool tool, all set up for you. Just download it and start playing with it. It's right there in the description below as well. My gift to you guys. And then this is something that really spoke to you. If this is like, yeah, I've been searching for something just like this, or that's exactly my situation, or I've always wanted to do that. If this just really speaks to you, there's also a link to book a call with me down in the description below as well. And we can jump on a call and I can tell you a little bit about our mentorship program and what we put together. Because like I said, I went through this personal transformation. The thing that shocked me about it was such a well-tailored package all together, and it had all the pieces that you need. Because when you just read a book, you can read a book, get some information. Maybe you do the action steps, maybe not. I didn't do much of the action steps myself. And you learn some stuff, you don't apply it, and it's good knowledge. Maybe you do the action steps and you learn some stuff, you actually take action and you go forward. But when you have a mentorship program, which is somebody that has been where you want to be and can give you direct feedback and advice on course correction, when you have the full support of not only a course, but the workbooks that go along with it, and group coaching and one-on-one coaching, the support of that, plus a tailored community of people just like you, like-minded folks that are focused on personal growth, being the best version of themselves and living their dream life now. When you put all that together, the value of that is so much bigger than any of those pieces separated. So if this really spoke to you, click the link down below and book a call with me, and we can chat to see if it's a good fit for you and if you're a good fit for me in our mentorship program. It was really great talking to you guys. And my favorite mantra right now is you can treat today as one day or day one. One day I'll start on my new life. One day I'll take that new hobby. One day I'll work on myself. One day I'll chase my dream life and actually make it a reality. Or you can treat it as today is day one. Day one of getting started on all of that. So I challenge you, one day or day one. Cheers.